The gender pay gap is a serious issue that affects countless women around the world, and Hollywood is no exception. But these famous ladies have managed to defy the patriarchy by bringing in millions more dollars than their husbands. She's best known for playing Black Widow in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but Scarlett Johansson has taken on all sorts of nuanced roles, from the domestic drama of Marriage Story to the eerie horror of Under the Skin. There's no genre that she doesn't seem to excel at. However, her husband, Saturday Night Live star Colin Jost, is entirely focused on bringing the laughs. That difference is reflected in their paychecks. Johansson has an estimated net worth of $165 million, while Jost is reportedly worth $10 million. The former Black Widow was Hollywood's highest-grossing female actor in 2018 and 2019, the release years of Avengers: Infinity War and Avengers: Endgame. As it turns out, she can be quite particular about her earnings when it comes to her time as Natasha Romanoff.
This is gonna end well.
Not long after the pandemic-delayed debut of the Black Widow solo film in 2021 in cinemas and on Disney+, Johansson sued Disney for violating her contract. She alleged that she was supposed to be paid on the basis of the movie's performance in cinemas, and that the hybrid release strategy caused her to suffer a huge loss. Even so, Disney later revealed the actor had been paid $20 million in advance. The lawsuit, which was ultimately settled, may say otherwise, but that doesn't mean Johansson only cares about money. She brought home just $33,000 for her sizable role in the 2023 Wes Anderson film, Asteroid City, proving her appreciation for smaller, more intimate projects. Oscar-winning actor Julia Roberts reportedly has an astounding net worth of $250 million. But her husband, cinematographer Daniel Moder, is said to be worth just $10 million. Despite the massive pay gap between them, they've been going strong for over 2 decades, especially impressive by Hollywood standards. They met in 2000 on the set of the film The Mexican, which they worked on together. Moder and Roberts tied the knot in 2002 and are parents to Hazel, Phineas, and Henry. Working in the industry for nearly 4 decades, Roberts has earned staggering amounts of money for most of the films she's done. While she reportedly made a relatively low $300,000 for 1990's Pretty Woman, Roberts broke all records in 2000 by becoming the first female Hollywood actor to earn $20 million for a single film, Erin Brockovich, and it earned her an Academy Award. In 2010, she reportedly made $3 million for 6 minutes of screen time in the Gary Marshall rom-com Valentine's Day, along with 3% of the film's gross box office earnings. Then, 6 years later, Roberts was paid $3 million for 4 days of shooting on the Jennifer Aniston starring, Gary Marshall-directed rom-com Mother's Day. It's no wonder she's been able to bring her net worth up to 9 digits. Melissa McCarthy's struggle to reach the top, be it as an actor, screenwriter, producer, or businesswoman, isn't something that can be overlooked. McCarthy, who at one point had less than $5 in her bank account, is now a millionaire with an estimated net worth of $90 million, $70 million more than what her husband, actor and filmmaker Ben Falcone, is reportedly worth. While her earnings from movies like Bridesmaids and shows like Mike and Molly add to her astonishing net worth, she has quite a few other sources of income, some of which include her husband's involvement. Parents to daughters Vivian and Georgette, the duo tied the knot in 2005 and have been inseparable ever since. They've worked on a number of projects together, including Gilmore Girls and Bridesmaids.
Uh-oh, somebody found a souvenir. You feel that steam heat coming? That's from my undercarriage.
Okay.
The couple founded a production company called On the Day Productions in 2013, and they invested in a whiskey company called Big Nose Kate in 2022. As for McCarthy's business endeavors without her husband, in 2015, she launched a size-inclusive clothing line known as 7-7, which was unfortunately discontinued a few years later. In 2012, Anne Hathaway balanced out her tragic performance in Les Miserables with a more joyous affair when she married actor and jewelry designer Adam Schulman. Hathaway, who gained fans and a solid reputation with movies like The Princess Diaries, The Devil Wears Prada, and Rachel Getting Married, is reportedly worth $80 million. Schulman, meanwhile, has a net worth around $1 million. That said, the difference between their individual earnings doesn't seem to be a problem. The couple is apparently living a happy married life with their 2 sons, Jonathan and Jack. Hathaway has been in the film industry for more than 2 decades and has earned massive amounts of money. even for small cameos. For example, she was paid $7.5 million for only 19 minutes of screen time in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight Rises. She reportedly earned $10 million for her role in 2012's Les Miserables, even though her character dies early on. Still, it brought her an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. Hathaway is nothing if not ambitious. As she told Elle in 2022, "When you are not born into the life that you would like to have for yourself, you have to be ambitious. I love that I'm hardworking, and I love that I have really big dreams and goals for myself." Actor turned talk show host Kelly Ripa is solidly a household name, thanks to her time hosting live for over 2 decades now. She sat alongside co-hosts including Regis Philbin and Ryan Seacrest. But when Seacrest departed from the show in 2023, she hired someone who she knew she'd have chemistry with, her longtime husband, actor Mark Consuelos. Consuelos and Ripa, who are parents of 3, are reportedly worth $40 million and $120 million respectively. However, Ripa, who now annually earns about $20 million for Live, wasn't always paid as much as she deserved. When the two took part in the soap opera All My Children, Ripa earned far less than Consuelos, even though she joined the show before he did. As Ripa told Variety, "It wasn't until I got what we call my fancy job that I started actually earning more money than him." Ripa was sure to make it clear that the previous and current pay gaps between the two have never really affected their relationship. As she put it, "We have been together so long that it's always been collective money. We are very much old-fashioned in that sense."
I don't know how we stayed married.
Me neither.
Unbelievable. It really is a testament to our will to forget.
Nicole Kidman is known for her outstanding performances in Eyes Wide Shut, Moulin Rouge, and the AMC pre-movie advertisement, and she's been rewarded handsomely for her efforts. She's won prestigious awards, married singer-songwriter Keith Urban, and has accumulated a net worth of around $250 million. Urban has found plenty of success in his music career, but he's reportedly worth less than a third of his wife at $70 million. Back in 2008, Forbes listed Kidman as the most overpaid Hollywood celebrity. The Academy Award winner was paid somewhere between $250,000 and $350,000 per episode for the first season of HBO's drama series Big Little Lies, and reportedly earned $1 million per episode for the second. She also banked $1 million an episode for Hulu's 9 Perfect Strangers, which had 8 episodes. During Kidman's initial days in the film industry, she was determined to get out there and work, as she told the New York Times Magazine. "There's no chance of being selective because you've got to make money. I didn't come from an affluent family. With money no longer an issue," she admitted, "I do get to make choices and have some say in my trajectory as an artist." Ben Affleck's family wasn't rich by any means while he was growing up in Boston, but the actor, director, writer, and producer became a success thanks to films like Good Will Hunting and Shakespeare in Love. Because of his talent, determination, and hard work, Affleck has managed to accumulate an incredibly impressive $150 million. His wife Jennifer Lopez blows that number out of the water with $400 million of her own. They may have broken off their engagement in 2004, but the iconic couple reunited nearly 2 decades later and ultimately said "I do" in 2022. In the years between, Lopez maintained an impressive career trajectory, breaking Planet Hollywood's records with her All I Have residency in Las Vegas, sold more than $1 million in tickets in 2016. In 2010, she was even rumored to have signed a $12 million contract with Fox to serve as a judge for the 10th season of American Idol. In 2008, Lopez sold photos of her then newborn twins, whom she shares with ex-husband Mark Anthony, to People for $6 million. She later told the Daily Beast that some of that money went to charity, while the rest was saved for her kids. No matter what it may look like, though, Lopez isn't driven just by cash. She produced and starred in 2019's Hustlers for free, justifying her decision by telling GQ, "I do what I love." Starting her career as a model, Cameron Diaz stepped into the Hollywood film industry with The Mask, opposite Jim Carrey. During her 2-decade-long acting career and before her recent hiatus, Diaz starred in hits including Charlie's Angels, What Happens in Vegas, Night and Day, and Bad Teacher. She has since returned to acting now that she feels centered in her personal life.
I took the time, I built, I met my husband, we got married, we built our family,
Built our
our homes, all those things that take a lot of focus.
Diaz banked the majority of her estimated $140 million net worth before she temporarily retired. Her earnings overshadow that of musician Benji Madden, her husband with whom she shares a daughter named Radix. Madden is apparently worth $40 million. Considering that Forbes listed her as the second highest paid female actor in 2010, Diaz's net worth is no surprise. The outlet reported that she pocketed a whopping $32 million in that year alone. In 1999, Diaz reportedly was set to earn $12 million for 2000's Charlie's Angels and for 2011's Bad Teacher. She was reportedly paid $1 million up front and $42 million for the movie's performance in cinemas. That said, it seems the self-made actor managed to retain her worth over her inactive years, thanks to the values she was raised with. As she once told Britain's Stella magazine, "I come from a frugal upbringing, so I'm not just going to throw my money away." Television personality Kourtney Kardashian Barker announced her first child with musician Travis Barker in June of 2023, a year and a month after they wed. The Keeping Up with the Kardashians star has an estimated net worth of $65 million, while the Blink-182 drummer sits at around $50 million. As with any other celebrity, Kourtney has various sources of income, but her earnings from Keeping Up with the Kardashians are a huge factor when it comes to her bank balance. In 2015, E! allegedly paid the Kardashian-Jenner family a whopping $80 million to air the show through the end of its 14th season in 2017. That same year, the family reportedly signed a $150 million contract for 5 additional seasons. If Kris Jenner, who told Ellen DeGeneres that the family of 6 has equally distributed their earnings among themselves, is to be believed, Kourtney banked about $38 million from the 2015 and 2017 deals. The oldest of the sisters also has her own lifestyle brand called Poosh, where she sells products from other brands that she partners with. Despite her wealth, one piece of financial advice Kourtney received from her father, Robert Kardashian, is something she has never forgotten. She recalled to CNBC, "The biggest thing that my dad always told us was just that money doesn't buy happiness. He would drill that into our heads."